You're in my every breath and every thought, intertwined so deep inside me that love's not a strong enough word. You have my devotion. Your name branded on my soul, my wolf yours to command. 100 years, it'll never be enough. Want eternity? What a terrible feeling to love Simone and not be able to help them. Her heart had grown so familiar to the pain of life without him, that to respond now seemed too large a pleasure she could not endure. If pain was love, then she loved fiercely, yet knew she could not be near that boy again. Caring was a thing with claws. It sank them in and didn't let go. Caring hurt more than a knife to the leg, more than a few broken ribs, more than anything that bled or broke and healed again. Caring didn't break you clean. It was a bone that didn't set, a cut that wouldn't close. The worst thing you can do if you miss or need someone is let them know it. Marius and Cassette were in the dark in regard to each other. They did not speak, they did not bow, they were not acquainted, they saw each other. And like the stars in the sky separated by millions of leagues, they lived by gazing upon each other. So what I want to know is why it is that I can no longer find you in my mind. You are still there, but you are there like a ghost, a will-o'-the-wisp. Not long ago you burned, your heart burned in my mind like silver fire. But after that night in the inn it became patchy and dim, and now it is not there at all. Could it be that the heart that you seek is no longer my own? I have given my heart to another, the boy, the one in the inn, with the unicorn. Yes, you should have let me take it back then, for my sisters and me. We could have been young, again, well into the next age of the world. Your boy will break it, or waste it, or lose it. They all do. Nonetheless, he has my heart. I hope your sisters will not be too hard on you when you return to them without it. Not enough, he said, letting her hair slip through his fingers. If I kiss you all day, every day, for the rest of my life, it won't be enough. Just for future reference, don't use words like love anymore. It's a very sensitive word and it wears out quickly. Romeo barely says it, but John Hinckley filled up a whole journal with it. To put it into your terms, it's a currency that's easily devalued. Pretty soon, you're saying it whenever you hang up the phone or whenever you leave. It turns into an apology. Then it's an excuse. Some assholes want it to be a bulletproof vest. Don't hate me, I love you. But mostly it just means more, more, more. Give me something more. A couple of years from now, when you're on your own completely, if you really fall in love, if it really comes to that, and I pity you if it does, you have to look right down into the black of her eyes, right down into the emptiness in there, and feel everything. Absolutely everything she needs, and you have to be willing to drown in it. Kevin, you'd have to want to be crushed, buried alive, because that's what real love feels like, choking. They used to bury some women in their wedding dresses, you know. I thought it was because all those husbands were too cheap to spring for another gown, but now it makes sense. Love is your first foot in the grave. That's why the second most abused word is forever. If you have the woman you love, what more do you need? Well, besides an alibi for the time of her husband's murder, the best love in the world is the love of a man. The love of a man who came from your womb, the love of your son. I don't have a daughter, but maybe the love of a daughter is the best too. I am first and foremost me, but right after that, I am a mother. The best thing that I can ever be is me, but the best gift that I will ever have is being a mother. I think heaven will be like a first kiss. You don't need to justify your love. You don't need to explain your love. You just need to practice your love. Practice creates the master. It answers the question that was tormenting you, my love. You are not one thing in my life, not even the most important, because my life no longer belongs to me, because ... You are always me. Love is born into every human being. It calls back the halves of our original nature together. It tries to make one out of two and heal the wound of human nature. I'm yours forever, forever and ever. Here I stand. I'm as firm as a rock. If you'll only trust me, how little you'll be disappointed. Be mine as I am yours. If you didn't remember something happening, was it because it never had happened, or because you wished it hadn't? Her desires are mine. Her wishes are mine. Should even the world stand against her, my blade will be at her side. And should it fail to protect her, let my own existence be forfeit. I realized when you look at your mother, you are looking at the purest love you will ever know. It is beautiful to express love, and even more beautiful to feel it. What you are to do without me, I cannot imagine. In the meantime, I hope you will find your place wherever you are. Even in the silence, I hope you will find the words you need to share. Daddy, I whispered, feeling my own breath hitch in my throat. I love you. Just when I was sure he was asleep, the one corner of his mouth lifted in a smile. I knew that, he murmured. Always knew that. When we were kids slaying around, the Lonin Arbelius often Takadobu thowed like toddy and dead, Al agreed on Thossamething. We'd alike to defaking althonin of Ushadan, any thucking, and no thought or hardlick itsany longer buthound, todi and dalthoders, ofus wold prefer, todo idolonunder, the sheets no thetis, ofushav, fuckador, livsoedi. He stepped down, avoiding any long look at her as one avoids long looks at the sun, but seeing her as one sees the sun, without looking. I need to know you believe me when I say I love you. That is all. I believe everything you say, Tessa said with a smile, her hands creeping Dune from his waist to his weapons belt. Her fingers closed on the hilt of the dagger, and she yanked it from the belt, smiling as he looked down at her in surprise. After all, she said, you weren't lying about the tattoo of the Dragon of Wales, were you? I didn't care who kissed you first, as long as I kissed you last. I don't need protecting. I knew you'd say that. But the thing is, sometimes you do, and sometimes I do. We're meant to protect each other, but not from everything, not from the truth. That's what it means to love someone, but let them be themselves. Dustfinger still clearly remembered the feeling of being in love for the first time. How vulnerable his heart had suddenly been, such a trembling, quivering thing, happy and miserably unhappy at once. In this whole screwed up town, you're the only thing that's always been right to me, he whispered. I love you, Claire. She saw something that might have been just a flash of panic go across his expression, but then he steadied again. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do. I love you.